So, it's time to begin. Case 2. Reunion and Turnabout. Oh dear. Oh my, not again. Seriously, Maya, do you honestly have just some way of getting caught up in murders? It seems to follow you around an awful lot, unfortunately. Now, I'd say sort of that case was a little bit weird in the fact that the episode Reunion and Turnabout didn't turn up until just before the thing ended. But oh well. Okay. Dude, you seriously need to get better glasses. They are not staying on your face at all. No matter how much you want them to. It's not staying. Oh dear. Oh god, this guy sounds like a nut job. This here is Turner Gray. Basically, his name, Gray is most likely a reference to the human anatomy textbook, Gray's Anatomy. Because that's basically the massive textbook that all good medics need, that has everything on the human body. It's huge. The Ace Attorney wiki also suggests that it could be based on the medical drama TV series Grey's Anatomy, which is an amalgam of the name of the main character, Meredith Grey, and the medical textbook. Probably also a play on Turning Grey, which is certainly what Mr. Grey's hair's doing. It could also be on a play on Turn Her Grey, which should show the amount of stress he causes his nurses, at least what you might think. It could also be a reference to Grey Turner's sign, which is a type of bruising around the torso that can be predicted a severe attack of acute pancreatitis. This bruising was named after the British surgeon George Grey Turner. His French name is Pour la Forme, which is a play on J'ai pas la forme, which means I'm not doing so well, or I'm sick. So, yeah, he wants to go see spirit mediums. His Japanese name is Tetsuroyo Kirisaki. Kirisaki comes from Japanese verb kirisaku, which means to cut open. Now, there has been some minor controversy involving Grey regarding his in-game sprite and art, in that when he lifts his glasses, he uses his middle finger. Now, showing the middle finger is not insulting in Japan, but it is in the West. So he's basically flipping us off every time he pushes his glasses up. What a dick. Can't do the other, Can't quite go on for the next bit of info on Dr. Grey, but we will do eventually. It's Maya! Ah. Oh, Maya. It's always nice to have the happy Maya music. Now, seeing as we are speaking to Maya, we might as well have a little chat about her. Maya obviously doesn't speak in the Ace Attorney game, but she's voiced by Mireille Kiritani in Professor Layton vs. Ace Attorney, and I believe Mireille Kiritani also played Maya in the Ace Attorney movie. And indeed she did, which is quite awesome that they got the movie actors to do the voice acting for the game. That's just awesome. Maya's Japanese given name is Mayaoi, which means true evening, and when written in kana, Mayaoi means hesitation or doubt. The name was apparently picked from a list of kanji that Shutakumi liked. Shutakumi was the creator of Ace Attorney. In her surname there's a Masato, which may come from the word village or home country, whilst the Aya part has no particular meaning. Her name of Maya was chosen because it closely resembles her Japanese name, and it can either come from the Sanskrit for illusion, or similar to Mia, her sister's name, as a pet form of Maria, which is itself the Latin equivalent of Mary. Mary is originally from the Hebrew for bitterness. This could be a reference to Mia's unfortunate and unpleasant death. Other possible meanings include rebelliousness and beloved child. The Fae comes from the word Fae, which means magical, fairy-like, strange, otherworldly, or spellbound. It may also come from Morgan Le Fay, the sorceress from the Legend of King Arthur. And as you will soon find out, we are about to meet a certain character who fits the bill quite accurately. Dude. Seriously, you need to just chill when it comes to the weather girl. They never usually get it right. I mean, there've been some corkers in the UK. I think there was one which is just infamous because the guy said that the tornado was not going to hit the UK, and then it did, and he has been taking the piss out, had the piss taken out of him ever since. Oh gosh, idiots. Right. Okay. Sure, why not? This can only end well. Oh, hello, ma'am. Indeed we are, Miss. Ma'am, I guess I should say. Morgan Fay. Now, Morgan's full name is most likely come from Morgan Le Fay, who, as I said, was the villainous sorceress from the legend of King Arthur, who wished to have her son become king. Take that as you will, for the time being. Morgan is given a name related to the modern Irish word Murai Gianta, which means magnanimous. Alternatively, it may mean Great Queen, linking it to her Japanese name, which is Kimiko, which comes from an obscure shaman queen, Himiko. And it relates the name to Morrigan, a possible goddess figure from Celtic mythology. It can be straightforwardly interpreted as Great Queen. May come from an Indo-European root connoting terror or monstrousness, cognate with the Old English mare and the Scandinavian Mara. Morgan, often translated as Phantom Queen, is widely considered to be the older, more accurate form, and then obviously Fae is the whole mystery thing. I think that's a decent amount on Morgan here. We will see how this pans out. I have to say it's been interesting. Okay. I see. Anyway, whilst we're still talking to Morgan here, let's talk a little bit about Nick. Nick's last name is, in Japanese, is Naruhodo, which is a reference to the Japanese expression Naruhodo, which roughly means I see, I understand, or indeed. It's usually used to agree with other people's ideas. His first name is Ryuichi, which originated from Ryuichi Sakamoto, a Japanese composer, singer, writer, and actor whom Shu Takumi deeply respected. Initially had no other particular significance until Trials and Tribulations, which introduces Furio Tigra. Ryuichi alludes to the dragon, while Kuronosuke alludes to the tiger, which is said to be the natural enemies in Eastern mythology. This is referenced in-game by Tiga's jacket design, which has the image of a tiger biting down on a dragon. You'll see that eventually. Phoenix is a reference to the Phoenix, known for reviving itself from the dead, which Nick is quite famous for. Wright is likely to have a similar effect to his Japanese surname, with lines like, "Isn't that right, right?" During Turnabout Memories, which is the first case of Trials and Tribulations, Phoenix introduces himself to Mia as being Wright, like the Flying Brothers, referring to the Wright brothers who created planes, if I recall correctly. Then obviously Nick is just a shortened form of Phoenix. Hey! It's Lotta! Ah, dear, Lotta hair. Yes. Oh, it's been a while, hasn't it, Doc? Now, as I did do this in the original Ace Attorney walkthrough, but I'll just do it again, just to refresh your memories. Lotta's Japanese surname, Isawagi, means clamour or uproar. Lotta Heart is a play on a lot of heart, which refers to her well-meaning nature. There have been a few times in which her name has been used for a play on words, because she's a lot of trouble, and also she has a lot of hair. Her full French name, which is Eva Kozesushi, if I pronounced that correctly, probably not, but oh well. It's a play on Elle va causer des soucis, which means she'll be trouble. In the French version of Justice for All, at one point in this case, Morgan's behaviour makes us say, makes her saying about Morgan, Je veux être calife à la place de calife. I want to be caliph instead of the caliph. There's an obvious reference to a French comic, Isnougou, which talks about the attempts of a Grand Vizier of Baghdad to take over the caliph's throne. Once again, you can take from that what you will. Let's see what's going to happen, because nothing bad's happened just yet. Nothing bad can happen here, obviously. Well, because it's a channeling. How rude! No, as you can guess, Hart was the designer of was the designer's idea of stereotypical person from Osaka. Apparently the developers in the Osaka Capcom offices did not appreciate the implication that people from Osaka are cheapskates and speak terribly. The dialect of Osaka is a famous one with Japanese authors. Oh dear. I think we should... what the hell? Oh god. Break into the chamber! Unfortunately, we kind of have to ask Morgan first. Kind of wouldn't want to break her door. Okay then, let's break it down! You go, Nick. Oh dear. Oh dear. Lotta? Seriously? Why? Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, this isn't going to end well, is it? Oh.